Good morning.
Morning. I'm just making old man jokes under my breath to Jonathan
They're not under
because
your
I
breath,
can.
Kelly.
They're not under my breath, but
No.
loud enough for you to hear. Just. We have had a really busy weekend with birthdays and just work and Easter coming up. It's been nuts. Totally crazy. I don't know about you. Hope you've had a calmer one. We've got one birthday done. The next one is on Wednesday. And then we have another one the following week as well. So super busy. Um,
I hope you got your coffee. If you haven't, it's too late now. We'll have to look forward to one instead.
unless they take their phone with them, if it's on their phone.
Or unless you're watching
it.
this later, and then I suppose you could
We
pause
could do
us.
what we like then. We could put us on pause.
You can't really pause us when we're doing this. But anyway, if you are joining us, then bless you. I hope you're having a good Monday. I actually like Mondays because we have such a busy weekend. It's always quite a relief to get the kids back into school and have some time to
Away
breathe and
from
think, and then not to have the arguments going on all the time. In a wonderfully calm household, and particularly around Easter time. So we've got 3 birthdays around Easter time.
And the door going at just the right time. So yes, it's always a bit crazy. What's it like in your house? You can let us know what it's like for you. Hopefully a little bit calmer, or maybe you're going away for Easter and getting away from it all together, which is even better. So there we are. Right, we are looking at Psalm 26 today, following on from Psalm 25. If you're the first time joining us, we've been working our way through the Psalms. We were kind of at the other end of the book of Psalms, and now we've kind of come back to the beginning and we're working our way through them from this end, the start now. I can't believe actually that we're on Psalm 26, having started at the beginning again. We really are cracking through them. So is this the whole psalm, Jonathan, or just part of the psalm? Is it a long psalm or a little psalm?
It's the whole psalm.
It's the whole psalm. So the whole of Psalm 26. We'll read it to you now. Declare me innocent, O Lord, for I have acted with integrity. I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Put me on trial, Lord, and cross-examine me. Test my motives and my heart. For I am always aware of your unfailing love, and I have lived according to your truth.
I do not spend time with liars or go along with hypocrites. I hate the gatherings of those who do evil, and I refuse to join in with the wicked.
I wash my hands to declare my innocence. I come to your altar, O Lord, singing a song of thanksgiving and telling of all your wonders. I love your sanctuary, Lord, the place where your glorious presence dwells.
Don't let me suffer the fate of sinners. Don't condemn me along with murderers. Their hands are dirty with evil schemes, and they constantly take bribes.
But I am not like that. I live with integrity, so redeem me and show me mercy. Now I stand on solid ground, and I will publicly praise the Lord.
We're reading the psalm like that because it's actually split into 5 sections. The first 3 verses are pleading to the Lord for help, and it's answered by the last 2 verses where we see the Lord coming to help. The psalmist kind of affirming that the Lord is there fighting for them. Then we've got sections 2 and 4, which is verses 4 and 5 and 9 and 10. Those are the bits that I was actually saying, and those were talking of the sinners, the attackers, the bad people, with blood on their hands. Their hands are dirty with evil schemes, verse 10. It's like a James Bond movie, except it's not, because it's real life. And the central pillar, section 3, speaks of the sanctuary. Sanctuary central to Jerusalem, the tabernacle which became the temple, the presence of God, where God resides, where love and mercy meets, where shalom is found, and praise rises up. Here the psalmist, amidst all the trouble, remembers God's glories, singing a song of thanksgiving and telling of all of your wonders, verse 7. Where do you run to in the middle of trouble? Where is your peace?
I don't know whether you remember when you were a child and there would be a sudden bellow of your name, like a Hannah! Did you used to get Jonathan shouted a lot?
All the time.
I bet you got it in like kind of sixfold from all your siblings as well, didn't you? As well as your parents. But when you used to hear your name called, maybe you didn't, maybe you were really good as a child, maybe it was just us, and you'd think, oh no, and you knew that there was something wrong or you'd done something wrong. And now sometimes we know when we've done something wrong, don't we? And sometimes we are not innocent, but there are other times when you'd be like, certainly I can remember this growing up, where you think, hang on a minute, I didn't do that. Somebody else has done that, not me. And you feel really wronged, don't you? We have that with our own children, in fact, when they go, actually, it's impossible to find out who's done something wrong in this house because they all blame each other. So they just go, no, they did it. They nicked that out of the fridge. I have no
Always.
idea why the fridge is now empty. Wasn't me with
The
stuff all
chocolate
around my mouth.
wrappers we find
chocolate wrappers.
all around the house.
Yeah, I don't know where they keep disappearing to. Funnily enough, they're all in your pockets. But yes, it can be really hard, can't it, when you're actually innocent of a crime, but you're accused of something, and it's a horrible, horrible feeling when you know you haven't done something wrong, and yet somebody thinks you have done the thing that they're saying you've done.
And yet, let's talk about actual crimes that are right in front of us happening at the moment. There's been some terrible images, haven't there, in the streets of, I presume you say Bucha yesterday and the day before. It's a commuter town northwest of Kiev, and there's bodies lying on the streets, clearly civilians. These were not people that had accidentally been bombed by cruise missiles. Those were not soldiers. These are people like me and you, deliberately murdered in cold blood, apparently in the Russian retreat. There was no other explanation. The Russians have denied it, but then you've got Jeremy Bowen and various other reporters on the ground that are testifying to the reality of what they're seeing. The devastation and destruction, both in terms of property, vehicles, and human life, are horrific. It's interesting what the Russians are saying. They're saying it's staged. There was a striking image, really haunting image of just an arm of a woman lying on the ground. And you could see her painted nails, but one of the nails had been charred. It was awful and broken. And sometimes denials are wrong and unjustified. Maybe the entire world but Russia thinks these denials are wrong and unjustified. But sometimes bring it back to us. We're not, I'm sure, guilty of any of those terrible crimes, but sometimes we're also too scared to own up to our own sin and wrongdoing. The things that we're either presently doing or have done in our lives. We're frightened of the damage it might do to our reputation or job prospects, maybe if somebody found out, or our standing in the community. Maybe we're in church and we think we have to be this kind of perfect model of a Christian. Whatever that is, whatever your community is, whether it's a sports club, or maybe it's a band or a choir or something else. Maybe sometimes what we've done wrong is really bad and we can't ever admit it. Owning it is never an option, and so we run. This was Hannah's bit, but I'm going to have to just join in for a second. I'll tell you about a story about an American footballer that I looked at last week as well. He was a running back. It was a few years back now. And him and his fiancée, they were just about to get married, and they were a night out gambling and drinking. And they had an argument at the card table. And one of them left and got in the lift, and one of them chased after the other one. And they had a bad argument in the lift. And the American footballer hit his fiancée. And she rushed towards him screaming, and he hit her again and knocked her clean out. And the lift arrived at the destination, and you could see him struggling to try and drag her limp body out of the lift. And then there's a second camera shot, and there's a camera shot of the hallway of him struggling to get her out of the lift. And then somebody comes over to them and is obviously asking them, you can't hear any dialogue, but obviously asking them whether they need some help. And at that point, it's pretty obvious that the guy is denying that he's got anything to do with it, and he actually then runs away. It's the aftermath of this was interesting because there was a whole string of denials which then came out. Then there was confessions, and then there was admittance, and the girlfriend then comes out, who was now his wife. They got still married after this, and says, "Oh, it's the first time he's ever done this kind of thing. There's really don't punish him," and his team suspended him. And in fact, he never ever again played professional football, American football. And whatever you think of that case, one of the issues was the fact that it was not the act which was terrible, it was the denials afterwards and the fact the chap had just run away, that he had left his fiancée, who could have died there, and literally just didn't know what to do. Apparently, he had panicked. Sometimes there's real consequences to our actions. We think about Will Smith in the Oscars, don't we, for example?
Yes. But, well, yeah, that was interesting though, wasn't it? That was maybe a whole other discussion, but it's interesting how groups of people respond to stuff that's shocking to them. But there have been consequences to that, obviously. You can't just get away with it. Interestingly, Annie's just confessed to me that she's made a big mess in the boys' room, but she's come to me and said, "I need help clearing it up." That kind of is a bit like what we need to do with God, really, isn't it? I've made a big mess, and I need you to help me clear it up, and we can't really do it on our own. We have to ask for help, don't we, to do that.
Isn't it interesting? You compare two of the people we read about that Jesus interacts with, who are both rich. So you look at the rich young man, and then you look at Zacchaeus. They're both rich. They've both accumulated wealth. And really, it's not the only way to accumulate wealth. You could do an amazing invention or have a fantastic company. But a lot of the time, wealth is accumulated on the back of other people's poverty, or other people, working for you for, next to nothing a lot of the time. Or through some kind of, tax avoidance or something else. So it's interesting, the two responses. One, the rich man went away. The young man went away sad because he wasn't going to give away any of his wealth. The other one, Zacchaeus, invites Jesus to his home and says, "I'm going to give away 4 times the amount that I actually took. I want to make reparations." And it's repentance compared to not repenting. It's that thing of actually wanting to make it right. The love that you then have, not only for God, but the love you have for your fellow woman and man as well.
I don't know where we are on this then.
We're just there, Dan.
And David actually pleads to the Lord to act for him. So a bit like in a court of law, he asks God to kind of be his barrister, his defender, or his examiner of even his most private thoughts. So verse 2, "Cross-examine me, Lord, put me on trial," or as it says in the NIV, "Test me and try me, examine my heart and mind." So God knows the truth anyway, so speak up on my behalf because you know the truth of my thoughts. And then he carries on, "I've lived according to your truth. I do not spend time with lies." And integrity is central to this psalm, as it was also in Psalm 25. And the definition of integrity is like a code of values, whether that's moral or artistic. It's incorruptibility. It's holding firmly to the truth or to the path of your own, so not wavering in that direction or belief. So the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change. That's another way that it's also translated as.
Notice the contrast here in the Psalms. God is a God of truth. The writer is saying, "I do not spend time with liars." Proverbs remind us to be careful who we spend time with. This is not excusing us of evangelizing or being in the world. Jesus spent plenty of time with sinners, eating with them, healing them, being their teacher, their Lord, and their Saviour. But what's the biggest influence in your life? Do you like sort of magazines, online magazines? Is it music? Is it family? Do you go to your mum or your dad or your brother or sister or even your child if you really want to talk about something that's serious? Or is it somebody at work? Or is it Instagram or an influencer or a rock star, or worse, a TV personality. We should be careful who we end up spending all of our time with. This could include just watching, Good Morning Britain, or I don't know what anything is called. Loose Women, or...
Loose Women. That's a different time, isn't it?
It is. That's the lunchtime, I think.
Who has time to watch this?
Anyway,
any of us have watched those.
But it depends who you spend your time with, and it can be somebody sort of one-to-one, or it can be, doing this or something else. And is being chatty. She's got her crisps. You can tell this is the granddaughter of a shopkeeper, can't you? If we're going to be active in the world, look at what Jesus does. He still spends time with his Father, either in the morning or in the evening. He always spends time in prayer, and he spends time close to him. And it's a reminder with us that, it's fantastic for us to spend time in the world, working in different ways, really challenging. But we've got to spend time with the Lord and close to his word as well.
So Psalmist goes on to say this: I wash my hands to declare my innocence. I come to your altar, O Lord, singing a song of thanksgiving and telling of all your wonders. I love your sanctuary, Lord, the place where your glorious presence dwells. And in Hebrews 10, it says, let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, or let's not give up meeting together. Something special happens in church or Bible study, or whether it's places of welcome or toddlers or youth group, or like the drumming workshop we had on Saturday. God meets with us, and God shows us his love through each other. I love your sanctuary where your glorious presence dwells. Spending time together like that builds each other up. We become we have a deeper understanding of each other and a deeper understanding of God. And despite all the false accusations, and there seem to be plenty directed at David, who finishes this psalm, I stand on solid ground. I have integrity. So in the face of the mudslinging, God can make the paths level for our feet. But he can ask us to just stand. Don't fight back, stand. 3 times Paul says stand in the Ephesians. Let the Lord fight for you, because he loves you and he won't let you be put to shame.
In verse 12 it says, and I will publicly praise the Lord. People have come past the church recently, and we've talked to lots of people in our community, and they've been saying, oh, the church is open, there's all this stuff going on. We're publicly praising the Lord by having Place of Welcome, or the toddlers groups, or the youth group, or the churches on Sunday, all this other stuff. We're publicly doing that. Verse 11, he will redeem us, he will deliver us, he will be merciful to us, so we can sing his praises, so we can tell other people, it's the Lord that rescued me from that. I know that he was standing beside me, I know he got me through that situation. We've got to count our blessings, thank the Lord, even in the middle of terrible accusations, holding on to his word of life in the face of everything. I've put some things up there for you to choose. I don't know whether you can see those, but hopefully you can. And so please do choose what you want in terms of music. We will start, I think, with Come and Stand Before Your Maker, because I think it's quite appropriate to this. And then please do choose the next song, and we'll try and get into that as well.
This is Come and Stand Before Your Maker, Rejoice. Come and stand before your Maker, full of wonder, full of fear. Come behold his power and glory, that with confidence draw near. For the one who holds the heavens and commands the stars above is the God who bends to bless us with an unrelenting love. Your sacrificial blood, bringing reconciliation to a world that longs to know the affections of a Father who will never let them go. Rejoice, come and lift your hands and raise your voice. He is worthy of our praise. Rejoice, sing the mercies of your King, and with trembling rejoice. All our sickness and our sorrows, Jesus carried up the hill. He has walked this path before us. He is walking with us still, turning tragedy to triumph, turning agony to praise. There is blessing in the battle, so take heart and stand amazed. Rejoice, come and lift your hands and raise your voice. He is worthy of our praise. Rejoice, sing the mercies of your King, and with trembling rejoice. All our sickness, all our sickness, all our sorrows, Jesus carried up the hill. He has walked this path before us. He is walking with us still, turning tragedy to triumph, turning agony to praise. There is blessing in the battle, so take heart and stand amazed. Rejoice, when you cry to him, he hears your voice. He will wipe away your tears. Rejoice, in the midst of suffering, he will help you sing. Rejoice, come and lift your hands and raise your voice. He is worthy of our praise. Rejoice, sing the mercies of your King, and with trembling rejoice.
Thanks so much for that. It always amazes me how you could just whiz up and down those stairs and do a quick change.
You still have Anya on me.
Instead of you're on you.
Wow.
Our poll is doing what it likes to do on a Monday, which is do
On Friday,
entirely
every
its
day.
own thing
Yeah.
and ignore what it's been told to do. It's a bit like our children, really. So it obviously just feels part of the family. So at the moment, we haven't got all
Well,
the
it said I will
results in.
rise at the moment.
Yes, it did. It said I will rise.
Well, should
So-
we do that? We haven't
Yeah.
had that one in ages.
Yeah.
I know you wanted God of Angel Wellness.
Yeah, that wasn't my choice, but it's coming up there, so we'll go with
Should
that.
we have I will rise just because we haven't had it in 100 years?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Fine by me.
This is I will rise.
This is I Will Rise. There's a peace I've come want to know. Though my heart and flesh may fail, there's an anchor for my soul. I can say it is well. Jesus has overcome, and the grave is overwhelmed. The victory is won. He is risen from the dead, and I will rise when he calls my name. No more sorrow, no more pain. I will rise on eagle's wings before my God, fall on my knees and rise. I will rise. There's a day that's drawing near, when this darkness breaks to light, and the shadows disappear, and my faith shall be my eyes. Jesus has overcome, and the grave is overwhelmed. Praise God. The victory is won. He is risen from the dead, and I will rise when he calls my name. No more sorrow, no more pain. I will rise on eagle's wings before my God, fall on my knees and rise. I will rise. And I hear the voice. And I hear the voice of many angels sing, worthy is the Lamb. And I hear the cry of every longing heart, worthy is the Lamb. And I hear the voice of many angels sing, worthy is the Lamb. And I hear the cry of every longing heart, worthy is the Lamb. 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 I will rise when he calls my name. No more sorrow, no more pain. I will rise on eagle's wings before my God, fall on my knees and rise. I will rise. I will rise. I will rise when he calls my name. No more sorrow, no more pain. I will rise on eagle's wings before my God, fall on my knees and rise. I will rise.
Just trying to wait for that last note. Just goes on forever, that pianist, isn't he? What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Flaming Nora.
What are you
I mean,
doing
what do you do
Can't
with,
get the musicians
like
these
these?
days. Really. We just have to work with what we've got and make the best of it. It's all we can do. Hope you have a really good week coming up. Do let us know if you want us to pray about anything specifically. We have a lot of events happening, not just at our church, but with lots of the other churches in the local area. So do pray about those. We've got Muddy Church coming up on Saturday. That's with St Hilda's and Worley Methodist Church. We've also, we're going to be doing Good Friday stuff with some of those churches as well. And we've got a holiday club next week. Really value.
What time is that in the morning?
10 till 12.
10 till 12.
Monday to Wednesday.
Do people have to register before they come, or can they register there?
They can register, but it'd be useful if you registered before.
And it's 4 to 11s.
And it's 4 to 11s, yes. So primary school.
Not toddlers.
Not toddlers, I'm
I'm
afraid.
afraid, no.
Not on this one. Toddlers, we have our last toddlers session before Easter on Wednesday, which
On my
also
birthday.
happens to be Jonathan's birthday. We'll be doing.
Scuppa's my day out, isn't it?
We'll have
I
a
think the
little
other day out.
Easter egg hunt.
Not that I'm
and,
moaning about it at all.
You can be the Easter bunny for us if you like.
Oh, I'd love to be. Absolutely love to be. I
That'd
have
make
to be.
your day, that would, wouldn't it?
To be the Easter old hare. Some farmer will be coming out with his shotgun to put me down. I'll be so old. I won't be bouncing. That'll be certainly not be doing that.
We're going to reuse the 5 from the candles on Freya's birthday cake. We're just going to replace the 1 with a 0. So we're going to celebrate Jonathan's birthday on
Recycle
Wednesday.
candles.
Absolutely. It's a good thing.
Well, we'll just be using candles soon because electricity will be too expensive. So,
well, this is true. So we should just save them.
Anyway, we're going to go now. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.